Remember the rules, everybody.
Can I read my fortune cookie before we begin?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Bad Fanfiction Night. I am your host, Remy McNeil, and I'm trying to get everyone on screen, but it's a tight fit. Joining me, as always, is the wonderful Twilight Guardian. And who said that? You die.
Y'all need to be quiet when we're live.
No. I'm kidding. I only said that because that's what she said joke in the year of our Lord 2025. Oh God, Moopa, why do you have to say hello with that horrible child? One of the most horrifying things to come out of Smiling Friends. The homunculus. All right. So we're going to be expedient today because we have 33 pages to get through. We're covering chapters 8 and 9. So everyone sit back, relax, remember the rules. Be quiet. For the most part, Twy and I are the priority speakers. We like your commentary and such, but we cannot. If you got a good quick quip, shoot it off. But don't expect a lot of long conversations. We will shut that down because we got a lot to get through.
Can I start this reading with my fortune cookie?
I will allow it. Be swift.
Okay. Practice mindfulness to reduce stress and anxiety.
That fortune
We're not doing that.
That's I was gonna say that it's speaking to me, and I'm not gonna heed it.
I too have a message for screen before we start. Ahem. 1001100110011001100.
Okay, all right. Gag's done.
Sketch.
All right, let us stop. All right, let us get into this. In the last episode, our bold hero Dalen got himself a companion against his will, because of course he did. Let us see how that plays out. Chapter 8. It was during the 4th night that I met my beloved Tara. Such a strange time to find warmth and love. After much fighting, we found ourselves in a position to launch an assault on the underworld. I had never dreamed I would ever venture into that labyrinth. Doing so would have been suicide if I had not been accompanied by the knights who led the charge. Somehow, they were able to sense where the shade pooled their powers to cast night upon the land. The white banner from Lyra's mantle fluttered gently at her back as she strode through the crowd. The people in front parted without prompting, the mantle serving its purpose to make her stand out. The mantle was a thin, bright white cape with sleeves joined around a high collar, and accompanied by bright silvery bracers and pauldrons. The pauldrons each bore the knight's golden sigil, a stylized shield that bore horizontal and vertical lines interlocking a center ring. Her boob window was bright and visible.
What?
I'm kidding.
The
same sigil formed the brooch that closed the mantle around her neck and was also upon the long white banner cape that hung down her back. A pair of white gloves completed the arch-knight mantle. Apart from this, the knights had no other uniform but were expected to wear darker shades underneath to contrast. That means they were just shade and they must be expunged from civilization. Lyra's choices were a black shirt with large silver buttons, a wide polished leather belt and an ornate buckle, tight gray pants, and knee-high black riding boots. A large two-handed war sword hung sheathed on her hip. The knights were the protectors of the world, mysterious warriors with great magical powers, beacons of hope and justice, and thus needed to be seen and recognized as such. Hence the mantle, and why the people stared at Lyra with reverent respect. Random fandom, I cast 20 inches. God damn it, man.
It feels like someone knew what was being said.
Billy Donuts for reading and donuts. Hello.
We'll need some.
We need 20 inches of donuts. How's that sound? That sounds good.
Oh, yes!
Yeah.
The one time 20 inches is acceptable.
All right. Hence the mantle and why people stared at Lyra with reverent respect. Lyra had grown used to the attention, but that didn't mean she liked it. Her arch-brother,
Say the name. Say the name.
Kuseg. Cusegs, waited for her in the street. The crowd not daring to come within 5 meters of him. That's unfortunate for a man named Cusegs. Her new companion was a short-statured, backward Terusian. What?
What?
Whatever the hell that is.
Okay, is this being colored in someone's viewpoint, and they're saying that Terusians are backwards, or does someone have a very unfortunate ass-to-head ratio?
Maybe you
What is this?
maybe you have to say his name backwards.
Maybe his head and feet are pointed like towards his back. I don't.
Her new companion was a short-statured, backward Terusian. Not only did he have deep brown skin and short, bright yellow hair that stuck up from the front, he had a prominent mark on his forehead from some savage branding, and wore no shirt under his knight's mantle, leaving his impressively muscled chest bare. Terusians were considered by many people to be very attractive and exotic. Their lack of modesty added to a taboo fascination, and in truth, Lyra could admit that Cusegs was quite the physical specimen. He stood out even for an arch-knight. Lyra was a middle-aged Hamhran woman, though she had aged gracefully over the years. She had pale blue eyes and green hair which stood out amongst the more numerous Frisian reds, though her own hair had a strong line of crimson which spoke of a shared heritage. That's not how that works, but Fantasyland will roll with it. Her hair was tied in a thin plait that hung down over her mantle's banner. Average in height for a woman, Lyra was still a little taller than her Terusian companion, who was still described as backwards for some reason. She intentionally avoided bonding light to her ears on this occasion, as she could predict the frivolous women were saying nearby as they whispered, pointing to Cusegs. They might have been pebbles on the road, for all Cusegs seemed to care. Lyra felt uncomfortable with these thoughts, though it wasn't nearly as bad as when they had met. Cusegs had been completely naked. It had nearly brought on a panic attack, being the way she was with things like intimacy. As it turned out, Cusegs hadn't been making some type of sexual advance. Instead, he claimed to be providing Lyra the opportunity to master herself more fully, whatever that meant. I am the master of my own domain.
Yeah, you guys are gonna like these guys.
Master these nuts. What is
I
this?
feel like one of them needs a slap.
After a very awkward conversation where Lyra could barely keep her nervousness at bay, Cusegs covered his loins, sorry that Lyra was so weak-willed that she couldn't control her emotions. She almost knocked him out for all of that. As if she were actually interested in him, or anyone in that way. Cusegs was attractive, very attractive, with a body that looked to have been sculpted from stone, but he was also snobbish, rude, and annoying. What she really wanted was a tall, blue-haired young man that had the charisma of a 30-year-old, but in a 17-year-old package.
What does that even mean?
Oh, geez, I wonder who that's going to be.
Celtic.
It's called
I think that
foreshadowing.
means Dalen.
There's a particular pin about that, but
I
not
have
for what you would
suspicions
think.
already based on what
It's
I
not
know.
called foreshadowing.
don't
It's
tell him
called you need to
anything.
call
Don't say
Child
anything
Protective
more.
It
Services.
needs to be the perfect package. for
Okay, let's
everyone.
move on, guys.
Cusegs was in the middle of eating a pie. This is awful, he said in a thick Terusian accent. The meat is too fatty. He reached into his mouth and retrieved a half-chewed piece of meat. You see this? It's like eating a shoe. He threw the piece to the ground before taking another bite of his pie. Then why are you eating it? I am hungry. You're always hungry, and that is why I eat. Makes sense, Lyra said. Someone pushed the laugh track button. I said the laugh track, not the murderous clown in the fucking shrubs outside my house.
Much comedy.
Sorry,
That works.
I seem to have pressed the wrong button.
Jesus Christ, man.
No, what happened
You must
was...
be a lot of fun at parties.
sounds like it, honestly.
Just on demand Green Goblin laugh.
And by parties, I mean adventuring parties. They come to slay you.
They keep finding the Wicked Witch everywhere.
Okay, you're good.
Lyra,
Or is
makes
this-
sense, Lyra said. I've just spoken to the vendor. She confirms the stories we've heard. A young man fell from that building there and stopped himself in the middle of the air a meter from the ground. No ropes, no tricks. From the description, it sounded exactly like a mass break. He had blood on his coat and said he was on a reconnaissance survey, whatever that means. Oh my god! Consequences for his actions!
I never thought I'd see the day.
This feels like a worse version of Emperor to Text speech Rogel Dorn, but Rogel was so straight-faced when he was actually funny. Yeah, that's a
Correct.
comedy series. This isn't.
I get the reference.
Are you sure?
Okay, look, because someone is a joke doesn't mean they're trying to be. From the description, it says mass break, reconnaissance. Cusack tossed the remains of his pie to the ground. He is asking people if reconnaissance is needed in this city. Lyra tisked disapprovingly at Cusack's waste and lack of cleanliness, but chose to otherwise ignore it. She had to pick her battles with this vexing man. You do hear how stupid that sounds. I do, but you people do so many stupid things I cannot know. Dumb bitch. Sorry, that was implied. Yugok says, 17-year-olds with a 30-year-old charisma, and we're going to have to leave out that he has the mind of a man over 60, because it didn't sound creepy enough already. A man over 80,
Yes.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
80.
Yeah, 80.
88 or
Gotta
something.
add another 20 years on that. A lot more erectile dysfunction.
Well, not anymore, but.
Oh no,
Yeah,
they're
not
still
anymore.
there.
Wish you
That's the
kept it.
unfortunate
Oh,
thing.
no.
Uh,
If only.
Lyra sighed. She really couldn't tell if Cusack was trying to offend her or if he was simply ignorant. We're assigned to hunt this city and would have been told if any other knights were given a task in our area, unless something serious happened to cause him to come here unassigned, which might explain the blood. But why in the light's grace wouldn't he report it to the hold? From the accounts, he didn't seem to be distressed. Quite the opposite. So, we hunt this city. We hunt the city on rock and roll. Sorry, all right. Nameless. Last stream, after we roasted a bad Power Rangers fan film, some of us thought of a team-jacked Megazord. Where the Jester Fiat is the body, which Zord would each member, including Critter, have? Dude, it would highly depend on, like, the theme we would be going for as a Ranger unit.
Phoenix, you get the head.
Ah, there he is. The Orange Man at Literature Devil is reviewing Ruby tomorrow between 12 and 1. Is that Eastern Standard Time?
Boy.
Because I will try to check that out. You should show up. Also, if you hit 100,000 subscribers, will you show your feet? Batwoman 340.
What?
I feel like
Are
that's
you
a
nerds or
thing to
not?
ask streamers. Will you show your feet at this benchmark? Probably not. I
Just
don't
take a
have
picture
very
of the
pretty
ruler.
feet.
It's time to hunt the
Bird
city.
feet.
You could
you
show
have
the
to
bird
ask-
feet, like.
I'm told regularly
have
I
to
have
ask-
hobbit feet.
You have to ask the feet fetishists what they consider to be attractive feet.
Yeah,
before you
someone
can
put
Just
say
Yeah,
show
that.
him
we
two
can feed.
rulers.
Yeah, we need the experts' opinion on this.
Balance.
Oh god.
Thank you, Ravenwood. There you go. Accurate depiction of my legs, Ravenwood.
Bruh. Are you saying that your toes
Amazing.
like socially distanced that far?
Do you have any idea how squat this man is? Like, you have to understand. You have to understand. We
You
have to
know the
hold this
wide
man
Putin
back.
meme? That's me. Where was I?
Okay, so Raymond is a short king. Got it.
Cusack rubbed his smooth chin. People do not like to lose so much blood. Really? Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Of course I am, Cusack said seriously. He just didn't seem to understand the concept of sarcasm. Oh, he's Drax. Okay. This is why I should be the head one. Oh, this is why I should be the head one, Cusack added. I'm senior, Cusack. That's just the way it is, so get over it. In age, yes. But why you people be leader for age is not right. And what does this mean? Get over it. Do you wish me to get on to you? Do you want sex? Oh my god. Why did you start
what?
speaking like a caveman?
What is this?
Ah.
Because
Bruh.
it tracks, but
It's
I feel my
interesting.
soul leaving my body.
A literal lesson in this instance, but still.
Good God.
Also, of course I want sex. Always.
Sex.
Like said,
No, light Q-segs. Will you get your head that I don't? Will you get into your head that I don't want to have? Have what? Lyra could feel the anxiety build. You know, sex. You cannot even say it. This is not good.
My-
Her
oh my
perpetual
God.
desire to punch Q-segs just doubled. You find it hard to control. You find it hard to control. This is normal. I am very attractive, and it is good that I can make you strong in this. Okay, guys,
Yep.
not gonna lie, I actually kind of like Q-segs. He's
Yeah, I
kind
kind
of
of
Chad.
was thinking that.
Oh,
Wait a
characters
second.
so
This is
far.
literally a repeat of Donnie from the Ables.
Oh my god, you're right.
so dumb.
Yeah,
You
it
know-
is.
It may say something that this is the kind of character that some of these writers write well.
Yeah.
It's almost as if they're writing
Oh,
themselves
yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
The fuck did I miss?
I got those vibes too. Yeah.
20 inches.
No, it's Q-segs.
Hey, Robot
It's
Man,
what?
how's it going?
Ryan Carson, it's Q-segs.
We're talking about the birds and the bees.
C-U-E-S-E-G-G-S.
Oh my god. I'm at the
Is
best
Kaz
part
just
already.
join? I think he did.
Yes.
You guys.
He did.
Should I be concerned with the name choices, or is a knee-jerk reaction to Cusack unwarranted here? Why'd he go unga bunga sex? Apparently that's just in their culture.
It's his culture. You should respect his culture. It's totally not something that Moopa is
So we're
probably
just-
going to have a glorious time talking about in the voice chat, text chat.
So we're just keeping that up from last chapter. Okay.
Yeah, pie.
Good to know.
Light, Lyra snapped. All I said was to get over it. Why can't you understand a simple analogy? How stupid must you be if you do not understand that I would not understand the words of a different language? How stupid must you be if you do not understand that I would not understand the words of different language?
What?
Uh-huh.
So
I
he's not
think
native
I got
speaker.
that.
Why
of
did
a
you
human
suddenly get
language.
brain damage? You weren't talking like this earlier.
Why do you expect me to understand?
All right, I think
Why do you expect
Cusick
me to
just
understand
dropped in
this?
some points for me because
I just- It's the
Chad, are you sure you should be writing?
I mean, I'm just in the back of my mind thinking about that one Benedict Cumberbatch meme of just him going like, sex.
My mind was thinking Mass
now
Effect.
I'm just thinking of the Patrick Stewart meme of acting. Anyway, Lyra sighed, rubbing her forehead. The two of them really didn't get along, but they were assigned to each other, so they just had to put up with it. The Order usually did this when a hunt became due somewhere. They would assign a brother, or in her case, a sister, who spoke the language with another member from a foreign land. It was the way the Order diversified. After being assigned together, and after his naked introduction, Cusack had tried to make Lyra play with some Terusian puzzles, of all things. Lyra had refused, of course, leaving Cusack greatly offended. Whatever, Lyra said. I suppose we could talk to the corners. What does this mean, corners? It's slang. Do not use words I don't know, or to describe things I do not know. A shortened name for constable. You know, Connors, not corners. I'm silly. You know,
Yeah, they're
law
talking to
enforcement.
corners.
Cusack was silent for a short time. Then that is the way you should say it. Even though now you know what Connors means. No, Cusack said, looking far more embarrassed than he should. That is not what I mean. Lyra smirked. But that's what you said. By the Bright One, this is not my language. I was meant to say that you should have said it that way, but not anymore.
Oh my.
Okay?
Okay,
Just
wait a
get to the
second.
point,
Did Chad get
Chad.
CTE
To
before
answer
he
the
wrote this?
question, Ryan, yes,
Seriously?
yes, Lyra is
Just
the woman
work
in the
already so we can move on.
cover. Sorry.
It was the first time that Lyra had seen Cusack so embarrassed. Oh, sorry. Cusack's cat. Where did I leave off? Not anymore. So you know how you meant to say it, but you didn't. Cusack usually kept his face blank, so seeing him flustered was a rare event. You. You, be quiet, you ignorant barbarian. It's okay to be forgetful. I said be quiet. This was the first time Lyra had seen Cusack so embarrassed. She smiled, happy to know there was a way to shade the Terusian's son and to get him back for all the drac she had to put up from him. The Orangeman said, Shad does find barbarians interesting when it comes to cultural development and clothing options. Batwoman 330. Okay. I'm glad he finds barbarians. I'm being very annoyed by the way he writes them.
He
It's
stated, I
nonsense.
believe, that a good chunk of the stuff that he had was developed on the moment where someone shot an arrow at Genghis Khan, and Genghis Khan recruited him to his army.
See, that's cool. And I have the feeling like I'm going to
Well,
like
this is
Cusack,
stupid.
but not in the way that Shad intended.
Probably not.
It's like
Probably
he was
not,
trying
yeah.
to write a character having a brain fart while also having a brain fart.
It would have been rather undignified if anybody had heard the two noble archknights squabbling, but they were speaking softly and were far away from prying ears, despite the fact they have been talking in very, yelling terms. Lyra let an appropriate amount of time pass before she spoke again. If the blood came from some type of altercation, the patrols might have received a report of it, especially if it was a fight involving an archknight. And then we will know if the blood came from his brother. Lyra paused for a brief moment and decided to test her theory. No? It would be impossible to know from the Connors. First, we would need to identify the man he fought with. I thought you would have realized that. Cusack seemed to control himself better this time, his face passive, but his cheeks did appear to be flushed. Was he blushing? I do not mean this, he said with an embarrassed tone. I mean to say that we will know who he fights with, if it is his brother or not. This is the second time you haven't said what you meant. This is not my language, Cusack repeated, raising his voice. Lyra glanced around to realize that this time their avid onlookers would have heard them. She felt embarrassed and spoke in a lowered tone. How about we focus on the matter at hand? This young man's description doesn't match any brothers assigned to a nearby region. He didn't wear the mantle and didn't have a brother at his side. I know this. It is possible that the boy is Syrium. A Syrium? Yes, but you call them different. Lightbringers. Q and Kara memes.
The fast running meme.
Yes. He might have been, Lyra said, thinking over the possibility. There were Lightbringers who were members of the Order. They made up an indispensable branch amongst the Knights thanks to their unique powers. He would have the miracle of, what, movement? Yes. But I know the Lightbringers in the Order, and they're all too old. Yes, even among my people it takes many years to be a Syrium. So, the likelihood of him being a Lightbringer is very low. Also, if he is a Syrium, he can ask for foods as Syrium and have no need to be an Archknight. Though I do not know why he would give so much trouble to get what you barbarians call food. Rude. Cusack.
Wait, he doesn't eat?
No, he's saying that the food here is barbaric.
The barbarian says
So it's
that.
hard to eat?
He literally called it leather shoe meat.
He bit out a bit of gristle and threw it onto the ground. And he threw away the pie, actually, 'cause he's an ass.
No, I think he did eat it.
No, he threw the pie into the ground. She made a point of it.
Oh, I didn't pay attention.
After he bit more of it. Like, he ate more of it, then he got rid of it. Okay.
Sounds like a masochist.
Also, I guess Syriums the Lightbringers can just ask for food too. Who's in charge of this?
I don't know.
Is there like a
This is
Grand
part of the
Master or
food
something?
tax.
Also,
So wait, if the Lightbringers are bringing food, does that make every food they have a light meal?
Moving on.
I looked up from my sandwich for that shit.
Cusack, in case you weren't aware of this, people don't like being called barbarians. Then I will not call you this again. Oh, Lyra said in surprise. That was easy. Why would it not? You never admit to being wrong. Not knowing something is different to being wrong. You do not like being called barbarian, so I will not call you this. It is just the best word that I know to say what you people are. Thanks, Lyra said sarcastically. Good to know that's what you think of us. I am honored to help. She shook her head. We need to try and find this boy. Can you track him? Only if I knew his scent, but there's no way for me to know which one is his. The street has had too much traffic. There's too much Axe... Oh, wait, I can smell this Axe body spray.
Couldn't they just ask him to find out that he took transport somewhere?
Yeah, like, I feel like this is going to
Too
be
easy.
pretty simple.
Are they going to do that, or are they just...
He
going to be
literally
like, "Where
used
is
his
the smell?"
authority, his alleged authority, every single time to get what he wanted. He has
Yeah,
not
the
been
worst-
stealthy in the slightest. This should not be a difficult matter to track down.
Barbarians are word.
How often are these
He's
bad
been the
fanfiction
opposite of
streams
stealth.
done? We do them every single Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Please
Some
enjoy.
exceptions, we occasionally take breaks. It's okay.
Yeah, but Chaosbreaker, you can join these bad fanfiction by giving $1 to the Celtic Phoenix patron.
Or the Twilight Guardian
Or
Patreon.
mine.
Or just, getting a membership.
Yep, or getting a membership. You can join us here in the tundra.
There
It's
is
close.
a
Have
lottery.
lots of options.
Is Dedrick still membershipless?
Or you can just be like the Orange Man and
Oh,
throw
yeah,
money at
like-
me to watch Batwoman. Please don't actually throw money at me to watch Batwoman. I'm being held against my will for this.
Too late,
He
man.
is
Now people
so
are gonna do it.
desperate to get you to watch Batwoman. Holy
He's
shit.
so desperate. Oh,
No,
I'm
I'm
kind of impressed, actually.
if you encountered a naked barbarian and they wished to interact with you, would you? Also, I think you're supposed to hate the main character and root for him. I think you're supposed to
And
hate the
root
main
for him?
character and root for him. Batwoman 350. Here's the problem. Making a hateable protagonist is a very, very difficult balancing act to pull off. And so far, he has done nothing to really engender any kind of positive feelings towards the character because we have never seen any of the reasons why he actually regrets his actions. And he has only ever been given shit by this story, like good shit. He has never been proven wrong by this story.
And also, he's very contradictory and not in a purposeful way. The man wants to die, but will choose the most ass backwards way to kill himself.
The man
It's-
wants to die, but says that he is being forced to live by the light, so he's not going to even try and fall on a sword or anything to actually die. No, it all comes, unless you want to interpret it as a man who is a complete hypocrite, who is running from his past misdeeds, which you can, and honestly, that's the most preferable way to read this.
All right,
Would be
Dedrick.
very effective.
The idea is that
Also, the
send me
dialogue
the way I
fans.
see it is like he is his own worst enemy.
Raymond,
So-
send me money. Raymond, JK, fans, sends Raymond money. Raymond, but why?
Why did you do this?
I mean-
I specifically
And then
requested
not
it.
to.
You've only
You
harmed
barbarian.
yourself,
You asked
brothers.
why? We asked
Hopefully
you.
you'll
Why
get one
not?
sometime, Dedrick.
You barbarians lack plasma television and supersonic jets. Thus you are barbarians. Cusack, probably.
You'll get a membership. You'll get a membership,
A
Dedrick.
little mini
One of these days.
all right. Let's continue here. Where was I? But if no one has been in the same place, you can find his smell. Yes. Good. Then you will find his smell. No, Q-Segs, I just said too many people have passed by. I can't tell which scent is his. I mean, if I had a piece of his clothing, or if he had stood in a place that no one else had recently, then yes. Q-Seg's face was blank as usual, but the tone in his voice sounded very condescending. Again, you do not see what is clear to see. This is why I should be head one. The head one. Oh, really? Lyra said, before cynically adding. So what am I missing? We know where this boy stands that no one else stands, Cusack said, pointing to the roof of the building where the boy had fallen from. There was a clear gap at the edge of the roof tiles. Lyra looked and ground her teeth in annoyance, knowing Cusack was right. It wasn't likely that anyone else had been up on the roof since that fall. Let's go check, Lyra said, walking to the building. The people on the street moved out of their way. Once at the building, Lyra crouched and channeled a power jump, shooting up with great velocity and cresting the roof to land on the edge with ease. Oh shit, who is the bird character from fucking Breath of the Wild? Rivali's Gale is ready to go. That's it.
Oh, Rivali.
Rivali's Gale is now ready. That's the line, Celtic.
I've
Rivali's
actually
Gale is
never
now ready.
played Breath of the Wild beyond like a couple 15 minutes of it, and I wasn't.
Then
like, a
why the
big fan.
fuck are you
I need to
referencing
find
it?
it.
Fake fan.
Fake
Fake
fan.
Oh, Breath of the Wild. Yeah.
Shame.
Fake fan.
I'll get you to
You play
play
Coward
it.
Sword?
Don't worry.
I'll help.
Oh no.
He has the jumper cables.
Oh yes.
Well,
I
I
have
actually
so.
am going to be meeting up with him in like a month and a half, so
Make sure to duct tie him to a chair.
yeah, I will.
She's going to have to catch me first if she wants to do that.
What are you?
I can do it. I can trap you in the apartment.
I was about to
She's
say,
getting
what if she just
yellow.
throws the switch at your head and knock you out?
Just go for the, no. Don't be silly. You got to go for the legs.
Ah,
Yeah,
that's true.
make sure he can't run first.
Just use it as like
can
a
we stop
batarang.
talking about my inevitable freaking kidnapping?
No.
I'm just gonna wake up one morning and see a switch on his desk.
Anyone else want to see Celtic as a Rito now? I'm already a Chocobo man. I don't know if I gotta
that
keep
would be
owning
cool.
up the fantasy birds.
You're multicultural, man. You gotta accept it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Someone
Careful-
please draw him as a Rito. That would be so good.
Careful not
Oh,
to break
please.
loose tiles. Wait. Once at the building, Lyra crouched into channel power jump, shooting up with great velocity and cresting to the roof to land on the edge with ease. Careful not to break loose any tiles under her feet. That's how it was supposed to be read. She stood straight and looked down to see Q-Seg rising gently up towards her, obviously using 1 1/4 gravity bonds, hands held formally behind his back. Changing the direction of his bond, he floated in an elegant arch and stepped onto the roof. Q-Seg had good control. Everyone on the streets were watching them, reveling in their chance to see the Archknight magic. Lyra knelt down. Using her free bond, she channeled light into her sense of smell and instantly detected a person's scent. Her face must have looked confused, for Q-Seg asked what was wrong. His scent. It's that smell. That smelly smell. That smelly smell that smells. Smelly. Anchovies! He smells like an old person, and there's something faintly familiar about it. Old people have a different smell? Lyra stood. You're telling me you never smelled an old person? I have. They do not smell any different. We all smell like sex in Teresia. Of course they do. Okay, not all old people, but most. You know, musty, the smell that brings on boredom and hypnotically makes people speak really slowly. Okay, here's an interesting talk. Did old people have a smell, like,
Well, they
back in the
smell old.
day? Like, I feel like that might just be a turn of the century type thing. Because we have
Probably.
different
Sure.
hygiene
Depends on the
standards
hygienic
now.
standards.
I'm
and
pretty
such
sure
that you're
the smell
picking
of
up.
back in the day was like shit if you were a peasant.
Well,
Yeah,
what's
the
the
smell
Monty
was like
Python
at some
joke?
point.
He's a king. Why? He doesn't got shit all over him.
Yeah.
He must be a
Sounds
king.
alright.
Why? He's clean.
Okay. They don't know what to do. This is a very... what I'm saying is this feels anachronistic. Remarkably, Q-Seg's blank face seemed to convey that Lyra was speaking gibberish. How was he able to convey expression while never expressing anything? It was very frustrating. This man is just Teal'c. She just fucking stole Teal'c from goddamn SG-1. I'm pissing me off.
What is that?
Oh yeah, I remember
an
Shad being
an
a
amazing
Star Trek
character from Stargate.
Oh, Stargate.
Yeah.
Christopher Judge.
Yeah, Kratos from the newer God of War games.
Shit. Awesome.
The best voice of Magneto as well.
That's true.
What if he has our powers and is not a knight? Cusack asked. Oh, I can do a Christopher Judge. What if he has our powers and is not a knight? Cusack asked. That's impossible. All he needs is to fight evil and do the vigil. But no one actually knows what happens during the vigil. Just because we do not know does not mean that no one does, Cusack said. Even outside the order? Indeed. You know what, Cusack? You might be right. Of course, it was me who said it. But if you are, this is far more serious than we thought. Okay, just saying it now. Cusack, so far, favorite character.
He's actually
yeah.
intelligent.
He's funny. I like.
Yeah, he's pretty funny.
It's fun. It's funny how
All you gotta
much
do
more
is be funny.
relatively enjoyable this is when Dalen isn't on screen.
Oh my god. The
Yeah,
Why isn't he the main
that
character?
The Orange Man, you will watch Batwoman, $400. Funding will continue until morale
my-
improves. No, until moral improves. I'm sorry, are you
This guy-
impugning my moral character, good sir?
Well, yeah,
Yes.
well, yes, he's
Or you
impugning
get the
you for
murder
not being
Because you're not
sexist enough.
wrong.
You have to
I'm a
watch.
filthy degenerate.
No. He's impugning you for not being sexist enough, for not making fun of Batwoman. Okay, that's why he's paying you to do it.
I can be more sexist. It's okay. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Doing it.
I
don't know, that's
Look, between you guys and the guy that's throwing 50s at me on the regular, I weighing my options.
You want to be a star, don't you?
Celtic, we're all degenerates.
Yes, we are. I mean, you guys are in my server. That's like prerequisite to be here.
There's a not safe for work chat here.
As we traverse the underworld, we pass many enormous halls and roadways carved out of the stone by some ancient subterranean civilization. As to who they were or what happened to them, no one knows. The Shade attacked us each fall as we traveled, and there were many desperate battles as the strongest of the knights was unable to release the full force of their power for risk of cave-ins. Of course, the Shade had no hesitation in that regard, and they used their dark powers to kill many. We were met by the largest collective of Shade once we found their primary nest at an entrance to a great cavern. We fought with everything we had to get the stronger knights close enough to destroy them.
And I thought Dune had longer chapter titles.
That's just a prelude. You know what? No, that's chapter title. You're right. Now that
It is now the chapter title.
Now that introductions are over, the bringer said, looking at Dalen quizzically, there is something that I've been wanting to ask you. What's that? Dalen asked. Is that blood on your coat? Surprised, Dalen looked to his coat. He had been sure he had cleaned off all the blood, but when shifting his coat, he saw a few streaks he had missed that were under a natural fold in the cloth. Light! The bringer must be bloody perceptive to notice that. Bum ba dum bum 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 bum. All right, sorry. Oh my god. No, it's sauce, Dalen said. Spilled some on me when I was eating a pie. Arik held a calculating expression and then smiled. I see. So where are we going? The capital. I just have to grab some of my things first. Your things? I thought your father lived here. Not anymore. They're my things now. He died? Yep. I'm sorry. Don't be. If you had any idea what he was like, you'd be as happy as me to see him gone. You didn't get along? Dalen laughed. Now that's a funny question, because while the answer is yes, it is at the same time a profound no. Dalen, you cannot just, yes, but actually know me, all right?
An easy way to make a joke about this is just say, yeah, I really didn't like him.
How did you just have that on hand?
Dedorex has that on speed dial.
Wow, I got the Dedorex.
Dude.
Oh, man, this dialogue is
Cool.
so lovely.
The Tomato Knight.
So did I miss any fan art? I didn't want to make sure that we didn't miss anything.
I don't think so. I
Okay,
mean,
good.
yeah. There's a meme.
I just
that might
posted
be
one
made,
thing.
but that's about it.
It sounds complicated.
I can.
Dalen laughed even harder. You have no idea. Well, at least you're here to break the news to his friend. Friend? I have no... Dalen stopped himself. I mean, my father has no friends. Yes, he does. The farmer who gave your father a ride in his wagon. He is in the house. Paradan! The letter! Oh, Black! Dalen, you can't just say that.
That is the weird...
What you mean by
The
that?
loading screens are getting longer in this MMO.
Oh, it really do be, because let's not forget, this is a really shitty video game.
Wait, what?
Dalen ran inside to find Paradan sitting in the very chair Dalen himself had sat in before he had left. Paradan was holding Dalen's suicide letter, his face pale and expression horrified. Oh, fuck, what voice did I give Paradan? Did I ever give Paradan a voice?
I think you did.
I don't remember.
Who are you? Paradan asked. Eric entered after Dalen. He is the old tinker's son. Did you know? Paradan asked Dalen through clenched teeth. Dalen couldn't think of anything to say. His intent had been to burn the note along with his life's accounting. Know what? Eric asked. That the old tinker who lived here, Dalen, was really that day-breaking stoned tyrant Dalus the Conqueror. What? Arik said, stepping forward and taking the letter. He read, and as he did so, utter incredulity crossed his face. Once finished, his eyes were wide, and he looked to Dalen. Anger crossed the Lightbringer's face, anger that seemed truly uncharacteristic from what Dalen had supposed of the seemingly kind-hearted man. Your resemblance is no coincidence, Arik said, slow and clear. Your father was Dalus the Conqueror. Dalen swallowed, not sure what to do. He could pretend that he didn't know, but that would cause complications, especially with the things he wanted to go grab. So he made his decision. Yes, Dalen said. Paradin spat at the floor. That blackguard son of a shade. He's been living right under my nose for 20 years. I gave him a ride in my own wagon. A ride on my own wagon. We even had a duel in which he beat me soundly. Light, I actually had a duel with Dalus the Conqueror. Oh, wait, Paradin was a kid, wasn't he?
Wait,
He was, yeah.
Was his name Dalus
He was a
or
youngin'.
Dalen?
Yes.
Dalus was the name that he had as the Conqueror, and Dalen was the name that he had as the Tinkerer.
Mm-hmm.
You see,
And-
he's
and-
very
and
good
why-
at hiding.
Also,
Very,
Ulrich-
very
Ah.
smart man, capable of conquering a whole world.
Celtic, can we just watch you
Reinventing
play
everything.
Resident Evil games? When Resident Evil Requiem comes out, I would be down for playing that on stream.
Hell yeah.
Also, this guy sounds like he's just having a fangasm right now, rather than saying that he's disgusted.
Oh,
Yeah,
Pretty much.
I spoke to
Yeah.
Hitler. It was so good.
What a soundbite. Somebody click that immediately.
Yeah, 100% honest.
Somebody do it.
Like
No,
the
no, it's like
guys, everybody, now. Like the hush you from last time. I don't know where that came from.
no. Listen, I know. I know. It's like
Click it. Someone, please.
wait, hold on.
We beg of you, clip it. No.
You said it's so cute. Oh my god, he's tiny.
Yeah,
That artwork is so cute.
Blackmail.
yeah, but like, what was it? Fucking no, I know. Okay, it's
Yep.
like saying, "Oh my god, I just had an art painting session. I got my art critiqued by fucking my mustache man."
By the
All
fucking
right,
mustache.
let's move
All
on.
right, let us
Let's move on.
along. Arik's face shook. He threw the note aside and paced across the room. Oh, by the way, after this paragraph 20 will be up.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable. After all this time, the Conqueror, alive! The Light must truly have a sense of humor if that was how we finally met. His age created the perfect disguise. No one would suspect the old man of being an old man. I didn't even recognize him. Yet now, as I think about it, I can see his face under those wrinkles. It was really him.
so stupid.
Subjective.
Scab on his eyes.
You do that to strap me in as tight as you want, Twy. You're not getting rid of the perversion part of me at the very least.
Well, yeah, that's why you're
Is the
Minetta.
primal element of the Phoenix.
No, but that actually worked on Minetta. It won't work on me, for Christ's sakes.
True, I guess I'm just gonna
You're
have to
stuck
do
as
it
a
harder.
degenerate.
Twice.
You know what, this
Should
brings
I
up so
put
many
down
questions
the
I don't
lobotomy
wanna-
spell or
No.
okay?
Please write down the unlobotomy spell for me, please. Thank you very much. I would appreciate
No,
it.
you have to keep it up at all times. It's
Oh,
always
shit.
going to be
Lobotomy
there.
smell. What the
Sorry,
fuck?
dude. I'm in the
It's like
I'm in
smelling
her
salts, but
circle.
it actually replaces your brain cells.
I'm out of spell slots.
Celtic.
sorry.
I'm in her ritual circle, so yeah, spells staying up, man.
Yay!
Okay,
Twilight has
where did you leave off again?
Arik's eyes like burning coals.
His eyes are burning coals.
And gasoline.
I'm just gonna have to look that.
Bum,
Ah,
bum,
there it is.
Oh, you're
bum,
right,
bum,
everyone.
bum, bum, bum,
Um,
bum, bum, bum.
Arik's eyes like burning coals turned on Dalen. And this explains your namesake, Dalen. What are you talking about? Paradin asked. Dalen was Dalus the Conqueror's name in his early life, Arik said. Really? He had another name, and he even had the gall to go by it. Arik sneered. And the gall to name his son the same. He had given it up for the darker name Dalus once he gained power. Most people don't know this, which explains why he retook the name while hiding. Have a look at this, Paradin said, handing Arik Dalen's journal. It was under the letter. Arik took the book and began to read, his brow climbing with each crossing of his eyes. He flicked through the pages, reading briefly. This is a full accounting of the Conqueror's life.
There's not even any pictures.
It's a kind of shit book.
The film was so underdeveloped.
That's still my favorite word of woman's joke.
It doesn't even give us motive for turning over a new leaf.
Paradin stood and paced across the room, kicking over the chair. We should burn this place and everything that Daybreaker touched down. Does that include... Sorry. Does that include you? He touched you, I'm assuming, Dalen accused dryly. What about the money he gave you, or your wagon? You better burn them all. How do you know he gave me money? Paradin asked. He told me. I was with him at the end. I'm not saying he wasn't a right blackened bastard, but his life here might still have led to some good. Like what? Paradin asked skeptically. The money he gave you. That doesn't count. Then throw the coin away, you little snot.
No, my money.
Snot. Watch your tongue, boy. If you act like a child, I'll treat you like one. So put a rock in it and listen. If you don't count it as good that he spent his years fixing the town's things, look at me. I'm here solely because Dalus hid himself away. And if you knew anything about my father, you would know that he wasn't exactly happy doing so. Living was the worst punishment anyone could have given him. Paradin paused. He said as much in his note, but he still escaped justice. At least we know the tyrant is finally dead, Arik said. But how can we really know? Paradin replied. The word of his son? How can we trust that? And how can we even know that you're really his son? Just look at his face, Arik said. Apart from his age, he's the express image of the Conqueror.
Ugok says, so he didn't even actually change his name. If I didn't know any better, I think he intentionally made his MC profoundly stupid for giggles. Honestly, yes, I'm right there with you. This is such a dumb plot.
I was about to say, this would have been a great parody.
Also, again, I need to reiterate this point. He's pointing at Dalen and being like, you see, look, he looks exactly like Dalus the Conqueror. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, how do you know what Dalus looked like? You have a portrait of him? Do you carry it in a heart-shaped locket?
Of him just all across his end.
Is there a statue? Is there a statue of him?
So, I just have one thing to say. Miles S is the Discord name or commander. He made the soundbite of the thing I said about. Oh no!
Thank you, sir.
I'm gonna download this right now and post it in. Don't worry.
How do I download too?
I'll get it. Don't worry.
Yeah, Lightning, if you're still here, because I can't scroll down to check. I presume you're still here. Add that to the sound.
Realize I'm going to.
Oh no!
No,
I never saw the Conqueror, Paradin said, apart from when he was hiding here, and by that time he was too old. Paradin looked closely at Dalen. But now that I look at it, there is a lot of resemblance. And your voice is even the same, just not as croaky. Having any connection with him isn't something I'm proud of, Dalen said. But the light saw fit to bring me here, so I intend to live my life regardless of where I come from. I never knew he had a son, Paradin said. He must have fathered you after he went into hiding. But he's been living here for nearly 20 years, as long as the Daybreaker's supposed to have been dead. Paradin looked directly at Dalen. Who's your mother? That was a question Dalen had prepared for. Titina, Dalen said. The old widow? Paradin said. Dalen nodded. She died, what, 16 years ago? The old widow Titinia had actually befriended Dalen when he had moved to Caradel before she died. She had been somewhat of a recluse and had taken to Dalen, seeing that he was much the same seeing as he was in much the same situation as her, all alone. She was the perfect person to claim to have been born a son no one knew of.
Okay, alright. Remember we go about this, he hasn't fucking changed? You are now besmirching the name of an innocent woman in order to provide yourself a cover story.
All for the cause, Raymond. All for the cause.
There's no reflection upon that.
All according to
Raymond,
plan.
the great are good.
He could have
Right,
just
go
said
ahead.
he's one of Dalen's bastards. Like,
If I might also
Or he-
offer, maybe if he wanted this whole redemption junk, he should have just left his old shit behind and moved on with a new life.
Yeah,
No,
just
no,
go
it's
to a
too
different
good.
country. Do what all criminals
But then
do
we
and
wouldn't
go
have
to
a
Mexico.
story.
actually, no, we would
but
have a
trying to be-
story. It would be a better story.
Actually, wait, I love the idea that he just
That's
goes
not
to
necessarily
Mexico,
true.
like Earth Mexico. It's just
Yeah,
there.
yeah, just this whenever this world's equivalent of Mexico, we should have went there.
No, Earth Mexico. Like modern day Earth Mexico is just
Oh,
hanging
our
off the
Mexico.
side of the fucking world.
N-
North Mexico, bring back North Mexico.
North Mexico.
Oh, what was that from? What was North Mexico from? Where did we?
King of rip-off Star Wars trilogy thing.
Rebel
What
Moon.
was that?
Oh,
Oh, it's right, North Mexico. Yes, Rebel Moon. Oh, I forgot
be
all
honest, I
about
forgot that.
North
Got
Mexico.
Baseball.
Oh my god, if Spaceballs doesn't
completely
parody
forgot
Rebel
that
Moon,
too.
I will be so mad.
Oh,
If it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
Believe in Mel
in the Mel
Brooks.
Brooks.
Believe
I
in the
hope it's
short.
good.
The shorts.
Okay.
She was able to suckle me as a babe, but after that was too old. I was sent away to Mornington Prefecture and grew up in an orphanage. Mother died not long after. Stranger things have happened, I suppose, Paradin said, looking about the room. His face scrunched in revulsion, he continued. I need to get out of here. I can't stand thinking of such an evil, murdering butcher that has been living so close. People gotta know, though. I'll go tell the magistrate and pass on the letter. Auric passed Paradin the journal, and the farmer retrieved the letter from the floor. He left the old cottage shaking his head. And that was it. In a couple of falls, many via phonotrack, communiques.
Communiques.
Guys,
Yeah, communiques. The thingy was throwing me off. The E. The whole world would know the truth, or half of it anyway. Dalen had to reach the capital before the news spread enough to warrant further investigation, namely into Dalen's false birth. I see why the light sent me, Auric said after a small time of silence. Yeah? Why's that? I'm to ensure that you don't follow the Conqueror's footsteps. You're worried I might? Honestly, yes.
Wow, dude.
Me too.
Racist much?
sins of the father much.
But also
Yeah.
completely right at the same time.
Because it's actually Dallas.
Okay.
Yep.
10-1. Every single time that he tries to correct Dalen, Dalen is actually going to secretly be right. And it's going to get like, you see, I was actually doing a good thing, you see.
Oh yeah.
How could you have such clairvoyancy?
I feel like I've heard about that.
Because it's an easy to predict story.
I was about to
No,
say
don't
pattern
protect the plot.
recognition is a time-honored skill. We value that in this channel.
No, don't predict the plot. You'll ruin the book for yourself. Moopa, the book doesn't need any help on doing that on its own.
Don't worry, Moopa. We haven't. Remember, Moopa. We haven't gotten to that.
Oh yes, yes. We haven't
Auric
gotten to
nodded
that.
slowly. So the question is, how much are you like your father? Dalen laughed. Now that, Bringer, was funny. The answer is not at all, and every bit the same.
How
I
much
don't
are you like your
understand.
father?
Please.
Shut the fuck up, bro.
Okay, sorry.
Please no, please no.
I have all his best traits and his worst traits.
I don't understand. And hopefully you never will.
No one.
Lyra and Shush your faces. Lyra and Cusick visited the closest constabulary to find out about any violent encounters in the city. There were a few, but one that stood out most was a violent murder in a street alley. Some beggar had been utterly butchered. They visited the alley, and Lyra picked up the very same scent that they had on the tiled roof. "Oh, light," Lyra said. "Things just got a lot worse." "You smell him?" Cusick asked. "That, and you just stepped in poo."
Oh,
"Busick," Cusick said, cursing in his native tongue and scraping his shoe along the ground.
Okay. I'm not one
You
for
think the
toilet
water-
humor, so it is bad foot with me.
Yeah. "You think the water they would use to wash away the blood they would clean the poo away too. Disgusting city." "Oh, get over it. It's just poo." "No, it's not. I am fouled to need to wash." "No time for that." "I have to wash myself. I am fouled." Lyra had enough. "If you don't get in line right now, I'll pick up that steaming turd over there and force it down your throat." Cusick's eyes widened in horror. You will not." "Oh, yes, I will. I will stop you." "You know my bonds are stronger. I'm senior for a reason, Cusick," Lyra bit out. "When it comes to our mandate or something that might threaten the order, you'll put up with the literal crap, blood, pain, and death." Cusick pressed his lips tight. "Good. Let's go." Lyra and Cusick entered the Leybourne skyport at Lowfall to find it bustling with activity and industry. The site recalled memories of Lyra's childhood as she had grown up near the huge capital port in High Dawn. Dock workers raced back and forth hauling cargo, driving wagons, sweeping docks, and directing traffic. There were several whalers skinning their most recent catch in more than one dock. Countless shipmen wearing common working clothes or the uniform of their respective ships also filled the port. They directed passengers, loaded or unloaded cargo, walked in merry groups off to a pub, or were returning to the dock to man their ships. Most slept during this time, but as every fall was lit continuously by the sun, it wasn't much of an inconvenience to switch sleeping habits to satisfy the demands of commerce. Some didn't even follow the falls and just slept whenever they got tired. They all gave Lyra and Cusick a wide berth. The whale carcass filled the port with the stink of blubber, but it wasn't nearly as strong as the true Edgeport. There's been too much activity here," Lyra said. "His scent is all mixed." "He comes here to find a ship," Cusick said, with a mouthful of pastry. "Light," Cusick, "can you please finish your food before talking?" Lightning. "No, I find food in this place that is not awful," Cusick said, his mouth still full of food. Holding up the pastry he was eating, he continued, "Look, it is cooked through, flaky, and has lots of butter. I am going to eat." For a man who is so picky about food, Cusick certainly ate a lot of it, and as it turned out, Teresians had some very different eating habits. Cusick always ate with his hands, made a lot of noises when eating, threw his scraps on the floor or the ground, and of course had no problem speaking when his mouth was full. "Whatever. Let's separate. Someone's bound to have seen the boy." Cusick left and began interrogating every person he found. Though foreign, he was still instantly recognized as an Archon for the Order's white mantle over his shoulders and arms. Lyra grabbed the attention of a passing dock worker.
Work docker.
Ugh.
I feel like there should have been more of a joke there, but there wasn't. I just immediately ran into like the most interesting thing about this passage, which has been a flub of a word. That's it. That's the most. I am so far just like, yeah, they're a really bad comedy routine. Got it.
Are you bored, Raymond? You want to hear something more interesting?
I'm scared, but I'm intrigued.
Hitler, it was so good.
It's on the soundboard now.
Oh no!
I love it.
Guys, everyone silent. Lightning.
All right, let's
play
test it
Play
out.
it again. Oh, I spoke to Hitler. It was so good. Oh my god.
Dude, you
Oh my God.
properly orgasmed at the
Oh.
beginning of that sentence.
How
That's
did I?
crazy.
I kind of want to leave right now.
That's-
when I know nothing realized
you
it
asked
became
to
a
do it
permanent
again.
part of the server.
Like,
Yep.
it wasn't that you did that. It wasn't just that you did that. You did it in 4K on recording for everyone to hear. Like,
And you asked for a twofer.
Yeah.
You asked for an encore, bro.
Hope you're proud of yourself. Don't you be the climax?
Sleep in it.
I'm happy about today right
Thank
now.
you, Satan.
Man, I wasn't expecting us to hit the climax of the chapter this early, but damn.
Oh.
What are you talking about? We have a character named Cusegs. Of course we could reach the climax of the chapter already.
That was bad. You should feel bad.
Okay, settle down, everybody. Lady Archon, the man said, bowing. I'm looking for the portmaster, Lyra replied. The dockman pointed. Now that Lyra was looking in the right direction, the portmaster was easily identified. She was an elderly woman wearing a businesslike vest over a white shirt, a top hat and puffy cravat, and a long lace skirt with a ledger in hand. Light, what was that grandma doing being a portmaster? Wouldn't the stress of such an office kill her? And the sword on her side should have made her fall over. Lyra approached the older woman. Though surrounded by lackeys and clearly busy, the portmaster bowed respectfully. Master Archon, she said in a wheezy voice, how can I serve you? I'm looking for one of my brothers who might have caught a carrier out of the city, Lyra said. Oh yes, let me be the first to officially apologize to the Order that one of our noble protectors was asked to prove his legitimacy. It literally took the woman twice as long to say this as a regular person. Word hasn't spread too far regarding the incident, and all I can do is hope that the Order will show leniency. My understanding is that the Archon wasn't wearing the mantle. He was quite young and... In what way exactly did you force my brother to prove his legitimacy? Lyra asked, unable to bear the slow discourse any longer. The woman swallowed. Ah, well, just a small demonstration of his powers. Nothing too disruptive, I assure you. The Archon chose to demonstrate his speed. Once the tollman knew his mistake, the Archon was offered every courtesy, I assure you. What's the name of the ship in question, and where was it headed? The woman flicked through her thick ledger, and really seemed to take her time. Lyra struggled to contain her growing impatience. This is the
DMV
that scene from
Zootopia.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to say.
The old woman's like, maybe if I just waste her time, she will leave me alone.
Maybe if we don't look at her, she'll go away.
Yes, don't look at the ship.
It was the Farwin headed for Treramain, the portmaster finally said. What's the fastest ship currently in port? That would be the Sparrow, a runner owned by the National Post. It's now headed for Treramain with 2 additional passengers. Make sure the ship doesn't leave until I'm aboard. The mail will have to be late. I'll collect my brother and we'll leave immediately. The portmaster paled but bowed and walked away slowly. Lyra sighed, not feeling very proud of herself for being so brisk with the older woman. But seriously, she was in a hurry, and that conversation had taken 3 times as long as it had needed to. The unneeded had in there is irking me. Lyra left
Nothing.
Lyra had left thinking about how the old woman described the boy using his powers. The boy had to be a Lightbringer. There was no way to fake enhanced speed like that. But was he a brother? Surely he had to be, for only the Arc Knights could obtain light-binding powers. Unless Cusick was right, and the boy had dedicated his life to fighting evil, and he had learned the secrets of the Vigil independently. This was worrying, but not too much, for he could only survive the vigil if his dedication was whole and true. But what about the deserters? Lyra asked herself. Knights that had deserted their calling weren't common, but it happened, and it was serious enough that a special group existed within the Knights to hunt them down. This had always bothered Lyra. If a knight had lost their dedication to the cause, they should have lost their powers in the exact way a Lightbringer did when they lied or committed a crime against the light. But deserted knights still kept their powers. Once a knight got their powers, they kept them for life. This was true regardless of a change of heart. It was a close-kept secret within the Order that the world didn't know, yet still didn't make sense. If the powers came from one's dedication to a cause, then they should be reliant on that dedication, shouldn't they? Then Lyra had another troubling thought. What if a person could get the powers regardless of their dedication? She had never thought of that possibility before, and it troubled her deeply. If it was true, anyone could become a Lightbinder if they knew the secret.
Lightning.
Even someone wholly evil.
Lightning.
Okay,
Come on,
so
man.
lightning. I feel like there's rules about doxing people's nudes.
Celtic is seriously not a phoenix, but a ray.
Lightning, and you were an arcade?
I'm freaking done, bro.
Now we found our Zord for Celtic.
Raymond, the reason why I'm not a Digimon is because I got the D, but that's just that.
Yep, and there it is. Okay.
Zinga.
Instead, you're just a chicken boy.
Okay, Riddler.
Oh, you just... He doesn't know.
Release nuts, boy.
Oh.
Nikki Pip.
Raymond, don't you dare.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
That's a happy Pip then.
What destruction and chaos could be wrought if that was the case? Lyra shook her head. It was a stupid thought. The powers had only ever been received by men and women who were willing to give up the rest of their lives to fight evil. But then Lyra thought of Vatem. Vatem had gone through basic training with her, and no one had seemed more devout than he. The knights had saved his and his family's lives from the Shade, which was why he had been so eager to join. He was the one who had encouraged the others throughout the training and continually praised the knights. Yet when they all underwent the vigil, Vatem was one of the recruits to have died. Lyra's trainer said Vatem must have had a doubt in his heart, so soft and hidden that maybe Vatem himself wasn't even aware of it. But Lyra had known Vatem. No one had been more committed than he. His death had troubled her ever since. Lyra found Cusick speaking to a blushing young woman who was having a hard time looking at anything but the man's bare chest. "Young with blue hair," Cusick said. "He is wearing a long coat with blood on it. He came to port last fall, you see." "No, Archon. I wasn't here last fall." "Then go," Cusick ordered with a palm held up, his other hand holding what was left of his pastry. He turned to Lyra as the woman left. "I am doing as you say, but it is stupid." "I didn't expect much. Then why I do this?" "There was a chance we might have learned something. It doesn't matter. I know where the boy went." "And how did you find this?" Lyra smiled. "I spoke with the portmaster." "You send me to ask people who would have no chance to know while you do what I need to do. I'm sorry you didn't figure it out." "I was doing as you say." Lyra leaned down to the shorter man and patted him on the head.
Rude.
"And you're a good boy for doing so."
Rude!
Oh no.
Oh my! You bitch! Get your
this lady
off
would not
of
have
my
functional
boy!
fingers by the end of this conversation. You don't do this. You need to have a very specific kind of relationship to pull that off with a short king. All right.
Shorter they are, the more angry they are.
You got? Did Shad just discover Oathbreaker Paladin? No, I'm pretty sure he stole it.
Utter confusion crossed Cusick's face. "What does this mean, the touching of my head? Are you asking to have sex with me again?"
Chad.
Lyra's heart leapt.
Immediately
Sorry,
her insult
what?
gets shut down. Good for you, King.
What an original.
Wait, who the hell
No,
starts a conversation like that? I just sat down.
Also,
Someone who doesn't
Mupa.
know how to write dialogue.
Yeah, also Mupa's comment.
Now, just looking at him shirtless makes her almost want to cry. Oh.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonder where that went.
Yeah, it's a good
Out
question.
the window, dog.
It's not like how Cusack is treated. It feels very off, given the way he's portrayed as a dark skin and very sexually attractive. Yeah, it's strange.
Could he have
I
a
guess
mental
it's like
disorder that makes him like this?
When does it become an eroge? It's always been an eroge.
Yeah, it's.
Since
I know
Chad is so
eroge,
sexually
but
repressed. It's oozing out of his writing, like exactly what you'd think I'd use as an analogy.
She has like something a horny teenager would write.
Literally, last time we did a stream, we all joked about how Dalen and the Lightbringer just getting it on.
That's
What? No! She turned away, trying to regain control. Light, Cusick, are all Teresians as perverted as you? How am I perverted when you keep asking to have sex? Lyra's hand curled to a fist, and she had to stop herself from hitting him. She turned back, and judging by Cusick's hesitant expression, Lyra's rage was showing on her face. She hissed out her reply. Listen to me carefully, Cusick, because I have had enough of this. I'll never have sex with you or any man. If you ever talk to me about it again, I'll kill you.
Okay.
Uncharacteristic shock hung on Cusick's face. He blinked and then leaned forward, touching both hands to his forehead and then spreading them out before him. Lyra had only ever seen Cusick do this to the Order's Archons and the High Archean. My sister Lyra, I am sorry from the truth of my heart. I do not know. In my culture, to master self is great above all. We only show how we feel when we want others to see. Here everyone show everything, and this is strange to me.
Rhyme?
What, are you saying that you can't read facial expressions? I know some faces, but here there are many I do not know. Lyra sighed. You can't read facial expressions. I can, but not all of them, and especially not the subtle ones. What is subtle? Small. Yes, small faces, they are hard.
I'm
Lyra was
reminded there's a character in Expedition 33 who is amazing, who is like a simple, gentle giant. Oh, what is his name? It's the
Eskia?
I've not played
Eskia,
Expedition.
yeah, Eskia.
Yes.
Like who is like this gentle giant, but he's super simple. Like he's like a child. He's like a child's plaything brought to life because that's kind of what he is, and he's awesome. He's one of the best fucking characters.
I like gentle giant.
See, I've not played Expedition, but what I'm getting from Cusick is like Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes,
worse. Drax.
Pretty much.
I was on
Because Drax has
Frog from Vex
Hey,
Machina.
look, it's Drax.
That's also still a poor man's grog, if that's where we're going.
Oh god, stop with your comic book elitism.
Anyway, we're almost
Lyra was finally understanding him. Cusick was misreading her anxiety and nervousness as attraction. That's why he thought she wanted to be intimate with him. You've never wanted to have relations with anybody, she said. Of course not. And if they have to... Of course not. And if they ask to have sex, they show that they are weak and have no control. I show my body so people want sex, but must be strong to control. It is even honors in my home so others can learn to be strong. I am not to have sex. And you show you are control in the same. I do not know that you are stronger than I think.
Oh my god,
I'm
he
sorry.
sits in the cook chair.
What? so
How
hold on,
dare
hold
you
on,
do
hold
this
on.
to my boy, Shad?
Let me get this straight. He doesn't want people to have sex with him.
His
So in
entire
order to do that, he basically dresses as provocatively as possible in order to test other people's will.
his
It's
entire
part of the
culture is
culture.
built around that. That's
Yeah.
their entire culture. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
that
like-
may be true. All right, that may be true, but I still think that he's the absolute worst roommate to have during No Nut November.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would just be like, could you please at least put on a shirt?
Well, no, and then he just like turned to you and was like, "Are you weak? Are you weak, bro?
Weak.
Are you weak, bro?"
Actually, he might be the best roommate to have during No Nut November. He's like, "Brother, remember your oath."
Brothers, we must stay focused. We must.
No,
stay
yeah,
focused,
that's
brothers.
right.
Remember your oath to the remember the No Nut November.
Yes.
Remember your training.
Cusack,
remember
ultimate
that
wingman.
training.
Izanagi.
Ah,
wow,
damn
this
it,
was
I'm
painful,
wrong with
like, weird
this.
mix of
Thank
Orientalism,
you.
Puritanism, and peacock.
Wait, wouldn't he be the
Think of
anti
the opposite of
wingman?
what you're attracted to.
Okay. It was Light blessed hard to keep a rein on her emotions with all this talk of sex. That's why you go about half naked, she asked. Not because you want to be attractive, but to teach or force others to control any of the desires that might come from your appearance. This brings honor in my home. Anyone who knows anyone who knows to master their body shows that it does not bother them to be seen naked, and to do the same for other. For me, who is master, it is not right that I wear clothes. He says he's clothed while being half naked, Lyra thought, but it's clear from our first meeting that Cusick prefers to wear nothing but shoes and adornments. Well, it's all right when you're away from your home, Cusick. Yes, I know this now. Good. Thank the light that's cleared up. I found where this boy was headed and commandeered a ship that'll take us to Terraramain. Once there, I should be able to pick up his scent again. Then let us be off.
And that's the chapter.
Yep.
God
Yep.
damn.
So on
Oh
one
my
hand,
God.
we got an awesome new character. On the other hand, God, are all the scenes that he's in fucking boring because, dear God, Lyra's a drag.
Also, on the other hand, this was a quickie.
Any jokes?
You know,
I
my
wanna-
big concern.
a good character.
Also, I thought we were so close to actually just getting to the fucking point of that one image I drew, and we're still not there.
Oh
I
my
hate
God.
this so much.
One day, Paladin. One day.
Hold, brother! Hold!
Brother.
Let
Cusack
Cusack
corner,
remind
we
you to
got
show
you.
restraint.
brother.
Hey, Celtic.
Everyone, we have to remember what happened today. Oh, I spoke to
Yeah.
Hitler. It was so
What's that?
good.
Oh, I was gonna say
All
happy
in on
20th
seriously
birthday.
love the
to
friends
Jaws.
both.
100%. You went all in.
I was happy 50th birthday, Jaws. That's what I want to say.
Yep.
Yeah.
Happy 50th birthday to Jaws. The
Good
first
content.
Yay,
blockbuster.
Jaws.
A much better story than this.
Celtic,
no,
I
no,
would
no,
say
either.
the image I put in voice chat earlier is basically that entire scene with Cusack and Lyra.
It really is. It really it's
Yep.
just
Yep.
him.
Uh,
I don't. The entire dynamic is just
Like-
limp.
Like, I think it's just
Yep.
Shad's way of trying to create a sort of funny dynamic in between all of the main plot stuff, which would be fine if it actually went somewhere, but it didn't.
It's his attempt at
yeah.
old couple funny.
Don't. Yeah, but.
I just mildly prefer the moments where we're covering them, if only because at least it's willing to let both characters, I guess, be embarrassed or whatever.
Now,
Like,
you see, I prefer Dalen because Dalen is just so reprehensible that anything he tries to be good at is just immediately like, yeah, no.
I mean, there's some comedy there, but I honestly am just overwhelmed by an urge to strangle him that any other thought is overridden the moment it comes back to him, and it's just, I hate him. There's no other word for it. I just hate him.
I hate that I actually kind of like Cusack.
Yeah, I was gonna say Cusack. So far, I kind of like him. Like, there's a lot of jokes involving him that I don't like that fall flat. But he seems like a chill dude.
Also, I kind of like that kind of joke of, oh hey, we're attracted just so we have to deny people. I find it kind of funny.
That's
Not when it is
That's
somebody's
not really a
whole
joke.
personality.
Yeah.
There's also a I'm just
It's an
'cause I
interesting
know
concept, but this
That's
is
what I
not
mean.
the place for it.
Chad did not pull this off.
Yeah.
So okay,
no
so
way.
my
He did not
my
cook.
big worry is that like there's just gonna be more scenes of Lyra and fuck, I can't remember his name now. What is it?
Cusack.
Cusack. I'm just worried that there's gonna be more scenes of them just talking about sex, and I'm just like, please stop.
Yeah.
Like
It's like that Matt Smith montage in
take a
Morbius.
you know what I should have said? I should have said take a shot every time one of them says sex.
I feel like
I
that.
feel like that'd be part of the drinking game where you die.
Exactly.
There's a problem. I don't have alcohol.
I feel like this
I'm
entire
underage.
book is
think I got
just
immunity for
so
poison, Dave.
consumed by sex
Congratulations,
that
you are
it's just
spared.
cringy.
Yeah.
Like God, there's
It's some subtext underlying theme about how Shad really wanted some coochie but never got it.
yeah. No,
Isn't he
he's trying.
married?
He's trying to
like it's
say,
written by a
guys,
fool.
it's actually a good thing that I'm a virgin. Trust me.
Yeah, sure, buddy. Go ahead and cope.
But he's not. He's married and he has kids.
Oh.
Got like, he's got like,
And
he has
did
like
he
4 or
have-
5
Oh yeah,
kids, yeah.
he took his principles. He went forth and multiplied that man.
Damn.
Yep.
Very much.
Never mind
That
then.
man? My goodness.
But
didn't know
yeah.
any most-
Anyway, let us wind this down. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all had a good time, even though there were some relatively boring segments in there. Ugh.
This whole book is boring.
Remember, you can join us here on the Tundra Discord server, where we host this every single Friday night at 10 p.m. You can join us by doing $1 or more to my Patreon or to Twilight Guardian's Patreon. And you can also, of course, join us every single Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Team Jacked podcast. We hope to see you guys there. And we should be looking at episode 4 of Fixing Ruby Volume 7 next week. So everyone be happy about that, I hope. That's about
Be happy.
it. So, yeah, we'll catch you all on the flip side.
Goodbye.
What is the